So just to tell you guys a little bit more about what you'll learn if you attend class this year, I'm sitting in a timber frame that was originally built in 1680. That's a circuit date that we put on it. And it came from the coastline in Connecticut. It actually came from Northford, Connecticut. And it was in the Beard family. This would be the oldest structure that we have ever had our hands on. Very rare to find a 17th century timber frame barn. We actually have an indoor fireplace here, which we had the mason corbel to sort of resemble a blacksmith's forge, or possibly the way a chimney might look inside of an 18th century home. And this is actually our shop. This is a big woodworking lathe that was made in Massachusetts, and actually the first patent date on this is 1877. If you're watching this video, you already know that there is a solid connection between boat builders and timber framers. You know, your interest in boat building could also, might bring you to being interested in the skills that we can teach you about layout of timbers that are not all equal in how square they are and how light they are. You'll be learning to timber frame from furniture makers. So we also make furniture. We do 18th century reproductions. We've done shaker work since the 70s. And I actually think that's another skill that goes hand in hand. I think the mortise and tenon joints and the prospect of laying things out correctly, even though timbers may be hewn or sawn and wood may be planed by hand, there's lots of overlapping skills, such as sharpening chisels, such as using tools by hand. This is an old workbench that was built in 1868. It actually came from the Grand Rapids Screw Company in Michigan. And here's a great shot of what's called the English tying joint, and it actually helped us date this building. This circle of joinery here, if you look up in one of Jack Sobin's books, I think you'll see this joint described quite well. This is what makes this barn a 17th century barn, and this is how we know the history of this barn, because this joint was done by Englishmen shortly after they landed here on the coastline in New England, specifically in Connecticut, and they executed this building. So they would have brought with them their tool chest and their apprenticeships and the skills that they had to execute this building. This is just one of dozens of timber frames that you'll see when we do the tour of barns. So class this year is April 16th, 17th, and 18th. And if you would be coming from out of town, we would welcome you to contact us ahead of time. We could help you with lodging that was close to where we're going to teach class this year. As I mentioned earlier, we've been teaching our Northford timber frame class since 1994. We would welcome students from anywhere. This is our signature tool chest here. It's a tool chest that we picked up in Maine years ago. The date that I found inside of it was 1860. It was made by a carpenter. We had hand painted on it our logos of the Northford timber framers. We put some tiger maple ends on the cover. Actually, as Northford timber framers, we are addicted to tiger maple. So in many of our frames, you'll see that we've worked tiger maple into the frame. And I suppose, like a craftsman would have his, certain tools for his trade, or a boat builder would have tools for their trade, or maybe a soldier in the Civil War would have a chest for ammunition. Well, this is our ammunition, and this is what we keep inside here. And this is our slick chest. And as you can see, there's approximately 30 18th and 19th century hand-forged slicks in there, many with their original handles. Some of them we've turned tiger maple handles for, or cherry or walnut. We actually have a very good friend in upstate New York who is probably one of the top 6 authorities on early American tools in the country. And he actually supplies us with tools for our students each year. You will have the opportunity to view as many as 40 or 50 slicks that are for sale, and 2-inch chisels, and 1.5-inch chisels, and mallets, and corner chisels, and boring machines. So we also provide the opportunity for students to purchase. During the 3 days you spend with us, we provide the tools to the students. So you will use the hundreds of tools that we have collected, tuned up, and have used ourselves for the past 35 years. You will actually use our tools. So you guys will get hooked on using the proper tools.